All right, guys, welcome to this November forecast. And I'm going to do these every month. I will be using this information as part of your individual readings next week. I'm going to do a forecast for each of the rising signs, rising and sun signs. So pay attention to that. If you're watching the readings, watch for your rising sign first, then sun sign, then moon sign. Okay. And if you can sort of connect those three things, that'll give you not a 360-degree picture, but a pretty good picture of what the month holds for you. Okay. So I first want to talk about the thing that grabs me about November is two things. First of all, the retrogrades. Okay. So we definitely have a lot of retrograde action. I'm going to talk about that. But I don't know if this is the bigger thing, but this certainly is a very loud thing in November. There's over 30 aspects. And what that means is planets talking to each other. There usually aren't that many. Okay. November is going to be like a throwback. November is going to because of all these retrogrades and all of these planets talking to each other, it's going to kind of throw you back in time. And next year, if you're part of my 2026 forecast group, I'm doing 3 lives, October and November, 2 in October, 1 in November, talking about what we can expect in 2026. If you want to jump onto that, you still can. There's a link below. Next Tuesday, I'm going to take you through each of the rising signs and talk about what 2026 holds for you in terms of your growth, your life. What will be happening will be kind of like Back to the Future. Okay. So if right now we're getting thrown back in time to kind of revisit some things. When we start moving forward in a really big way in the beginning of 2026, we're going to need to have all that work done. Okay. So a lot of the things I'm going to outline for you today, I'm going to integrate it with tarot. I will do a tarot reading. I will take that into the extended and go deeper into what you really need to pay attention to. Okay. And then next week, I'll be doing the individual zodiac readings for November. And I will also integrate this information, like I said. Okay. So the first thing, like I just said to you, is November is going to be a lot about revisiting maybe decisions, parts of your life that you might have made decisions about this year, things that crossed your path, maybe coming back around, people maybe coming back around. We have a full moon in Taurus. We have a new moon in Scorpio. All right. We just had a new moon in Libra as I'm doing this reading. And the new moon in Libra is about planting seeds. So what kind of relationship dynamics did you plant the seed for? And then where's Libra in your birth chart? I'm a rising sign Libra, so it's my first house. So it's about who I am showing up to be in relationships. And that has been a big thing for me this year. So where's it for you? Where's Libra in what house? That's going to tell you what part of your life is going to be impacted by that new moon in Libra. We have a full moon in Taurus, 13 degrees of Taurus, the second decan of Taurus on November 5th. The second decan of Taurus, it's at 13 degrees, so it's in those middle degrees, relates to the 6 of Pentacles. Balance, reciprocity. And it's in your Taurus house. So there's going to be some kind of more balanced give and take. And if that's not happening, full moon is about releasing it. Okay. So if I'm not getting the reciprocity I need in whatever part of my life it falls in, let's say it's falling in your 10th house of career. If I'm not getting reciprocity in terms of, hey, the amount of time, effort, talent that I put into my career, if I'm not getting back what feels balanced to me, I might be letting it go. Okay. So November 5th, that is a major deal. The day before we have that full moon, we have Mars moving into Sagittarius. And Mars rules Aries, right? And Sagittarius is a fellow fire sign. So Mars has this energy with Sag. There's a feeling of like, hey, I kind of get you. I know you. You're familiar to me. And it's about taking action, right? It's about taking action in the Sagittarius part of your life. And the very day before we have this full moon in Sagittarius, it says, are things reciprocal for me in whatever part of my life I'm looking at? If things are reciprocal for me, then maybe this Mars and Sagittarius opposite Uranus and Gemini is not that big a deal. Mars opposite Uranus. Uranus is about surprise, and Mars is about action. Action with optimism. Mars and Sagittarius with optimism. And there's going to be some kind of surprise conversation, Uranus and Gemini, there's going to be some kind of surprise conversation where you're going to be asked to take action. And that will lead you into this full moon in Taurus. It says, that person kind of sprung that on me. Do I want to continue with this relationship or not? Do I think this is reciprocal? Or is somebody trying to pull a fast one on me? Taurus is very much about our values and our self-worth. And if we think that someone's trying to take advantage of our good nature, it's possible that I say, you know what? My peace is more important. So pay attention to the 4th and the 5th, because that surprise is going to be a surprise conversation, may lead you to take some kind of action that brings you into a more peaceful place, whatever that is. If it's somebody saying, hey, I want to tell you about something, it's really important, and I want to tell you, I don't know if it's about their feelings, but it's like how I've been thinking about things, because it's Gemini. And it's, opposite the energy of optimism. I think you're going to have to really think about this for a little bit. Was that good? Was what they did good? Do I think it's good for me? Do I think it's good for the collective or for the connection? Is this aligned with my values? And you may have had some kind of upheaval in your own value system this year. But there's a lot of emphasis on what makes you feel stable and solid. And if it's not reciprocal, 6 of Pentacles, the second decan of Taurus, if it's not reciprocal, maybe I don't invest in it anymore. Okay. So that's November 4th and November 5th. There's 30, there's more than 30 astrological transits and alignments here. So I'm not going to hit them all. I'm just going to kind of tell you the story as it's unfolding for me. And that was one of the big things for me. We also there's a heavy sort of emphasis on your Taurus house this month, because Uranus, right after that, Uranus is going to retrograde back into Taurus on the 7th of November. Uranus goes back into Taurus. So Uranus was in Taurus since 2018 until this year, until it went into Gemini this July. When Uranus went into Gemini this year, lots of things changed. There's like a dividing line between what happened before July, this spring and summer, and what happened after. So if you keep a journal, bonus points for you, because what happened with that line of demarcation? What was going on beforehand? I felt for me, there was like a wobbly thing. Like I kept taking some kind of action, then being like, well, I don't know. Because the shadow of Taurus can be like super duper cautious, especially with money matters and things like that. And so like you could move forward with something and then pull back, because Uranus is very volatile energy and Taurus does not like volatile. Okay. So this is when Uranus goes back into Taurus, it's the very last degrees. It's only going to go back, because Uranus moves pretty slowly. Uranus is only going to go back to about the 27th degree of Taurus. So that last decan of Taurus relates to the 7 of Pentacles, which is about what am I investing in? What am I willing to put time and energy to? And it is going to be in that third decan of Taurus until February 3rd. Well, it's going to be in there afterwards too. It's Uranus is going to go direct on February 3rd. It's going to hit Gemini not until April. So it's going to be in that third decan of Taurus for about, let's see, at least 6 months, 7 months. And so this is a chance for you to really be thinking about, am I investing in the right things? Am I, if again, back to that reciprocity thing, if it's not happening for me, if I feel like I'm giving too much, I'm over giving, or I'm, it's not the 10 of Wands. It's more like, how do I want to spend my time? There might be a lot of moments over the course of this next 6 to 7 months where you're like, do I want to spend the time? Do I want to give to this situation? Do I want to put more energy into this situation? Because remember, pentacles are not just about money, but they're about time. So do I want to do that? I want you to go back and look in your own life. Uranus and Taurus since 2018. And what you have invested in, what has yielded results and what hasn't. Because this is going to be the time period when Uranus moves back into Gemini, you're going to be needing to walk that talk. So it's sort of like, okay, I'm putting a lot of time and energy into this relationship, but it's not really bringing anything. It's not really bringing any balance to my life. In fact, it's doing the opposite. Then I might be like, okay, I'm going to release it. And that might happen next April and beyond. Okay. Because it's going to be Uranus is going to be in Gemini for 7-8 years. So it might not happen on the day, but pay attention to what's happening with these wobbles back and forth into the signs, because it's like, it's either the beginning part of the sign, which is very powerful, or the end of the sign, which is also very powerful. The stuff in the middle may not be as impactful for you. When big planets like this change signs, it's a big deal. That's why I'm doing this video. All right. So the next thing I want to say to you is about Neptune. So Neptune has been in the very third decan of Pisces since the 4th of July, right? It's at the very end of Pisces. Neptune popped into Aries, and now it's back into Pisces, where it's very happy. It's going to go direct on December 10th. And that energy is the energy of the 10 of Cups. So the third decan of Pisces is about what is joyful. Think about vision boarding something that makes you feel joyful, because Pisces and Neptune is all about visuals. All right. It's all about, it's the movie industry. It's all of these things, that television, all of that. And it's also about our spiritual connection. There's something here about manifesting. Even with Neptune in retrograde, it does feel very, very much like, I'm going to go back and dip into that energy and give it a go again. Because when Neptune and Saturn meet at 0 degrees of Aries, we're off to the races. All right. The first decan of Aries is the 2 of Wands. So there's like decisions to be made, right? Decisions to be made. So this last decan of Pisces, this 10 of Cups, says, I want to visualize something wonderful. Like, let's not mess around with 6 and 7 of Pentacles. I want the whole enchilada. Okay. And so that's what's really happening with that, that retrograde. I'm just giving you a placeholder, Neptune back in that last few degrees of Pisces is an energy of a 29th degree. So just know that that's going on. Got all these retrogrades going on. Pluto is direct. Nothing to do with Pluto right now. Pluto is direct. Pluto is being aspected, talked to by a lot of these planets. The first decan of Aquarius is the 5 of Swords. So back to this kind of thing about reciprocity and about happiness and joy, and like, it's not just about whether somebody is giving you balanced attention. Balanced attention cannot be happy attention. It's got to be happy attention, right? It's got to be this 10 of Cups attention. So if someone is taking advantage of your kind and giving nature, Pluto aspecting these planets is going to give you a chance to be like, yeah, I am not interested in this. I'm going to be now the angel. I'm not going to be the one who's like, right, who's sitting here getting taken advantage of. Like, I'm going to empower myself a lot more. So Pluto is that time in our lives, Pluto being in Aquarius for the next 20 years until 2044. For the first 10 years of it, we're in this Five of Swords energy. So we're like overcoming this out of balance sort of manipulative behavior. We're overcoming this. This is what the soul lesson is. We're overcoming someone kind of, give and take, but like it's balanced and I'm investing time and energy into it. But is it my most happy? Is it the thing I really want? That 10 of Cups. Now, Saturn has been in Pisces for a little while now. It is going to go direct it's going to go direct November 27th. So at the end of the month. And again, that is the third decan, which is this 10 of Cups. And so when Saturn goes direct, there's a chance to put action, right? Saturn says, I've been doing the hard work of my soul evolution, Pluto and Saturn. I've been doing the hard work of my soul evolution. And when I hit Aries next year, I want to have learned the lessons because I really want this 10 of Cups energy in my life. I do want that. I don't want any more of this out of balance nonsense. Okay? Don't want that. Now, finally, Jupiter is going retrograde this month. Okay? At 25 degrees of Cancer, it's going to stay in Cancer. On the 11th of November. It's not going to go direct until March of next year. But Jupiter loves Cancer. Okay, so retrogrades, all of these retrogrades I'm talking about are really about reflecting. And when things go direct, that's when you can take action. Especially we have Mars going direct. Mars will not be retrograde at the end of this year, thank goodness, because Mars had already gone retrograde. Mars is the only planet that goes retrograde every 2 years, not every year. And we're getting a sense of like, at the end of Cancer, the card that is related to the third decan of Cancer is the Four of Cups. So there's definitely some rethinking. And it might be, depending on where it is in your chart, it might be that you have friends that are kind of talking to you or trying to talk you out of something or talk you into something or whatever. And then Jupiter keeps retrograding later this year and into next year. It's going to align with the Three of Cups, which is about a celebratory kind of decision that's been made. It's like, let's not be out of balance. Where's the Six of Pentacles? Let's not be out of balance. Let's make sure I'm investing my time and energy in the right things. I'm going to listen to people and reflect, kind of go inward a little bit. What is nurturing me? What is good for me? And when we get into next year, you are center stage. You are hitting the ground running. So the end of this year, I will talk more about December, and I will do a little bit more about all of the aspects because there's a lot of planets talking to each other. But I thought this might be useful as a way for you to understand all of the retrogrades that are happening, that have been already happening, but now Jupiter going retrograde as well. And, some of you who have taken my tarot class, my astrology class, that a lot of the things I talk about retrogrades are about past life energy. So some of you could really have a November full of past life lessons coming back around to you. Okay. So that's great because you're empowered then to maybe make a different choice. That wasn't such a good idea. I want to do something different. All right. So let's get into our reading. Think if those cards show up again, the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the 10 of Cups, 3 and 4 of Cups. If those cards show up again, there's a little bit of an emphasis on those situations that I was talking about. And I want you just to put a pin in that, because my intention is that those are going to be very powerful in these readings if they do show up again. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to just make this a little bit brighter. It's hard to work with this sun. The sun. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see what's going on here today for you. All right. Of course, because it's November. Shadow. The shadow aspects of a lot of things. New moon, didn't even talk about it. I'll talk about it in a second here. The new moon in Scorpio that's coming up. Meditate and boundaries. Okay, so that kind of reflects a lot of what I was just saying to you, that it is time to look at who you're spending your time with. Is it reciprocal? Do you have an out of balance relationship? Don't forget about that 5 of Swords. The new moon in Scorpio is 28 degrees of Scorpio. It's kind of rare. It's been going on for, 6 months, that the new moon is exactly at the same degree each of the months. Usually it moves like a degree each month or something, but it's exactly at 28 degrees of Scorpio. So if you have any planets at the end of Scorpio, those will be activated by this new moon. Any planets in the mid part of Taurus, those will be activated by the full moon. And then especially all of those things I was just telling you about, the end of Pisces, the end of Taurus. We're going to have a lot of energy going on there for the month of November. So let's get to the reading. What is going on in this month of November for the collective, please? Page of Pentacles, learning, growing. Page of Cups, the King of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, that's interesting. So there's something here. I feel like there's a soulmate connection. These are fire sign energies. Leo, Sagittarius. Remember, Mars is moving into Sagittarius. Leo, Sag, and Aries. All right. So Aries, I'm seeing Aries and Leo here. Sag, we definitely are moving towards Sagittarius time. We also have Mars moving into Sagittarius. So there's something here about very optimistic action. Three pages. So there's going to be lots of messages coming from someone who has either sees you as very optimistic and has like maybe put you on a pedestal, or sees what you guys can do together as like that's where they want to go. 3 of Pentacles. We're putting effort and time into our connection. It's something we're building together. The Page of Wands is this person's a little bit woogity, a little bit nervous about reaching out to you. I feel like they have an apology to deliver. They want to learn. This person's ready to learn. Okay. So Judgment, 3 of Swords. There's Aries energy, the Emperor, the Lover's card, that is Gemini, 5 of Pentacles. That freaking card keeps coming up every single time. The Justice card. So Libra and Gemini, when Uranus pops back into Taurus, I feel like there's going to be some kind of upheaval around stability, right? Especially if that stability is not evenly distributed. That could be on a global scale if things are needing to get more balanced with this Justice card. There's definitely something about a heartache, a heartbreak that forces action. So some of you could be getting awakened to the idea, or this person who wants to come back into your life is like, oh, wow, I screwed up big time. I forgot to tell you that Mercury retrograde is happening almost the entire month. Okay. It's going to be retrograding in Sagittarius and going back into Scorpio. So that's another retrograde. Imagine that because of all these pages, someone waking up to the idea that they've either hurt you or they've done something hurtful, and they want to reach out to you because they think there's a lot they can learn from you. There also might be a business relationship here, and they want to take some kind of bold action. All right, the Emperor, they want to take some bold action going forward. 7 of Cups, 3 of Cups, there's the 3 of Cups. That's the first card, and the Wheel of Fortune. That's the first card that really I was talking about in that conversation that we just had a second ago. That 3 of Cups card is related to, oh, I see. Okay. The second decan of Cancer. So this person may have been confused about their feelings, and they're now willing to, I feel like this person had some feelings that they weren't recognizing. Something shakes up. Something is going to shake this person awake. Okay. I feel like this is a soulmate for you. I'm getting Jupiter energy here too. Jupiter in Cancer. There's the moon, secrets, fear, feelings, definitely feelings. What is the shakeup? The 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. There's another. That's one of the first cards I was telling you about. 6 of Pentacles, reciprocity, King of Swords, the 9 of Cups, and the Hierophant. There's Taurus. So this is about, I feel like the shakeup is that this person realizes that they were out of line. They were out of line. This was not a reciprocal kind of thing. And they're willing to come clean about it. The King of Swords is Libra energy. It's cardinal air energy. And this is what you have wanted, 9 of Cups. So there could be somebody coming back around to say, hey, I do want to make a commitment to you, or I want to have, some kind of, it's like justice and the Hierophant, like that's legal marriage. Okay. Meaning marriage is a contract. If you have any of this stuff that I was talking about in your 7th house, it's possible that somebody could come back around and propose marriage. Something along those lines. This could also be secret. I'm also getting a very strong energy of secrecy because of this moon. I kept my feelings secret. I needed to keep them secret until something happened. Something is about to happen. Something is about to happen. Ace of Pentacles, King of Cups, the 9 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. So they have been, their ego has been trampled by some kind of loss. Like they have been humbled by something. This person has been humbled by something, and now they want to start something new. They want to tell you of their secret feelings. They want to start something new. So this person is coming back. This is a guy. This is a, I don't know, divine intervention, but the shadow aspect of this whole reading has to do with the fact that someone was too proud to share their feelings or apologize or something like that. Pride goeth before a fall. 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Someone was too big for their britches, got out over their skis, whatever cliche you want to use. The Sun. 3 of Wands. There's the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. So I feel like you right now, if you know who this is, if this is your reading, then this person that's coming back, I feel like some of you expect them to be like on their high horse, right? Like the 6 of Wands, but they're not. This person has been kind of laid low. And I feel like they're going to share that information with you. It's balancing things out. They've gotten taken down a peg. There's something like that. They've been humbled. And so I feel like this person maybe either took you for granted or was trying to make things so that you were man down from them, right? Like put things out of balance. So you weren't, don't expect anything or whatever it was. But now, so I think you expect that when this person comes back. But I think you're going to be surprised. 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords, the 10 of Cups. There's the 10 of Cups. I think you're going to be surprised what this person has to say. All right, so let's keep going with this reading. I'm going to go deeper into this, see what you don't see coming. I think I'm going to use this Ascension deck as well. And let's talk to Archangel Michael about what you need to do. All right, if this is your reading for November, link is below. I'm going to continue on. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.